Can you hear me? Turn up the volume. Turn up the volume. There you go. Are you an entrepreneur? Do you struggle taking advice or who to take advice from? Well, guess what? I got a few entrepreneurs who have taken their business to multiple 7 figures and they want to share something with you. Listen up. So I'm here with the man, the guy who brought you clothing that makes you look good and feel good while you're in the gym and even on the streets. My boy Randall. Thanks for meeting me, brother.
Yeah, of course.
Now, you know, there's people who are trying to get into the clothing line, whether it's has to do with gym clothing or outside the gym. What kind of advice would you give them?
Real hard truth and fact is clothing is actually one of the hardest businesses to get into, especially like building a clothing brand. Okay, so I mean, my best piece of advice is obviously to get started, but when you're creating a brand or creating clothing, you know, it's more, coming from my perspective as far as branding, you are pushing more than just pieces of articles. You know, you're pushing more of a movement, a lifestyle, a culture. So, you know, I would just use all the experiences from your past life and bring it to the clothing brand, so the brand has a purpose.
Right.
You know, like we were talking at the other weekend, you know, I brought up my point of, you know, this brand wasn't supposed to be a brand, it was to stand up my personal training business.
Right.
You know, but it became a brand because of what I was doing. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, you gotta like live through a lot of stuff and just use what you've been into, like your old hobbies or whatever, and create this culture that you understand, and then other people can relate to it, like emotionally, you know what I'm saying? One of the reasons why I only stick to what I know is because, you know, if I try to fake it, people could read it all over me. I can't, you know?
Don't fake the funk, folks.
Yeah, exactly.
I am with the CEO of Fit Body Bootcamp and the author of Soon Coming Man Up, the book, Bedros Keuilian.
Hello.
Also my mentor and uncle.
Hello.
Thank you for taking some time with me.
Yeah, man.
I had 2 questions for you. What advice would you give them, any entrepreneur starting off?
Yeah. So, in fact, coming off our fitness business summit, one of the big things that everybody was asking right now, because we live in the era of social media, is how do I grow my social media following? How do I get more Instagram followers? How do I become an influencer? How do I get more likes on my fan page? How do I get subscribers on my YouTube channel? Well, that's all great, but at the end of the day, if you're a brand new entrepreneur, you're starting out, likes, followers, subscribers don't matter. What matters is leads that you can convert to paying clients. And so too many times their goal gets blurry, and the reason it does is because they go, well, if I just have a better reputation because I have a big following, more people will buy my stuff. The reality is that before there was Instagram and Facebook and YouTube, people were selling millions of dollars worth of whatever their stuff was because they found the right person who was the lead. That lead had a problem. They solved the person's problem in exchange for money. And so the big advice I can give anybody asking who's just starting off as an entrepreneur, and when I say starting off, if you're making under $200,000 a year or less, you're just starting out as an entrepreneur. That's the reality, because by the time you take money home, if you're doing $200,000 a year, by the time you pay your taxes and overhead expenses, etc., you're probably taking, I don't know, under $80,000 a year home. Here in Southern California, that's almost below the poverty line.
Right.
So my point is, you're a brand new entrepreneur if you're making under $200,000 a year. If you're making that kind of money, then you better focus on getting leads and making sales instead of likes, followers, and subscribers.
Awesome. So leads pay the bills.
Leads pay the bills.
I'm here with Danny Lehr, CEO and founder
That's right.
of Caffeine and Kilos. Thanks for meeting me, Danny.
Yeah, man, of course.
I got 2 questions for you. Now, one advice you're going to give entrepreneurs, a tidbit, what would it be?
Is just start. Whatever you want to do, you just start doing it. I think a lot of people get held back and they don't know how to do this or how to do that. Well, of course you don't, because you've never done it before, right? And so if you really want to do something, you just figure, okay, what is the first step? What's the first thing I could do? And you just do that. And then when that's done, okay, what is the next step? And it sounds like, say, like you're oversimplifying it and all that, but you're really not. For example, Caffeine and Kilos, when we decided we wanted to make our own coffee, well, how do you do that? Well, I don't know, I guess I need to find a roaster. So I did a Google search and searched for coffee roasters, and then I started calling them. and talking to different ones, and you find one that it fits. And so whatever, say you have a gym and you want to start opening a gym, you want to open a gym. Well, what's the first thing? Well, you need some clients, you work on that, or it's like you have clients who want to open a facility. Okay, we'll start looking in town for buildings that are for lease. You know, it's like, what is just one step at a time, but it's just moving forward little by little. And so I think that's the biggest thing, is just start, and then next step, next step, next step.
Awesome, thank you. Hey, can you hear me? Turn up the volume. Are you in the fitness and wellness business? Do you wonder how all these other studios get more clients? Ever wonder if social media marketing is the way to go, but you're unsure if it's actually gonna work? Well, I got a few entrepreneurs here who want to tell you something about social media marketing and how it's helped them scale their business to multiple 7 figures. Listen up. How has social media helped you scale and grow?
Dude, social media has it's probably like our number one source of just marketing right now. You know, we're built on an organic growth, and it grew organically online as well. And you know, social media is super fucking important, whether it be finding athletes to represent your brand, athletes ambassadors, or connecting with other colleagues, or even like finding employees that you want to work with and hire. You know, it's just like on all those playing fields. You know, it's so important. You know, we have over 100 retail stores right now that carry LiftFit. But I think the data now is 90% is still e-commerce. 85, 90% is still e-commerce.
So driving traffic
to the website, you know, direct to consumer. So that just says, you know, social media is playing a huge role. You know, everyone's on their phone, everyone's on their, on their platforms. You know, so it's great, and it's a great marketing tool as far as being able to communicate with the consumer and their fans and stuff. You know, we don't have to rely on, you know, big magazine companies or big stores to carry us to show us to people. You know, it's like, no, I have my fans and my customers right here on my phone. I don't need a broker for me to, you know. So it's super important.
Right on.
Yeah.
All right, brother, I appreciate it. You want to tell the folks where they can find you and get in touch with you, connect with you?
You can find my personal stuff at www.randall-pich.com, and then livefitapparel.com, my other brand, topthreads.com, and all my Instagram links are on there for all my brands, my personal, and yeah, so just those websites right there, and then you can find everything else to YouTube, Instagram, all that. Peace.
Thanks,
dude.
Bye, brother. Yeah. And as far as social media goes, people can be hesitant in using social media in terms of growing their business.
For sure. Yeah, so I think that, and you're talking about gyms specifically or that type of thing, is I think it's very valuable, especially in local markets, because there's lots of things you could do. For example, you can do giveaways. You say, hey, post a picture of you at the gym, or during these 3 days, anytime during there, anyone that posts a picture during those 3 days is entered to win. And I'm gonna randomly pick a winner who's going to win a free t-shirt, a pair of shoes, whatever it is. So then these people post pictures at the gym, then everybody they know in their life, their aunts, uncles, sisters, brothers, friends, sees that and they're like, oh, they're going to the gym, that's great. I've been thinking about losing weight. This person is going there, so they hit them up. Hey, I heard you go in this gym, do you like it? And if you're doing a good job, you're gonna get a referral out of that. So encouraging your members to post. Another thing is you could encourage them to do reviews on Facebook of your business. Things like that that'll kind of drive that. So encouraging your customers to post about you. Everybody they know, including all the people that live local, are now aware of you. So I think that's the big benefit for local business.
Awesome. Well, folks, you heard from the man, Danny.
All right, thank you.
I appreciate it.
Of course.
And as far as social media goes, how has that helped you scale and grow your business?
Good question. So where social media is concerned, we're using Google to buy traffic on YouTube, and we're using Facebook to buy traffic on Facebook and Instagram, because Facebook owns Instagram, and of course Google owns YouTube. And so we're spending about $250,000 a month right now for our franchise Fit Body Bootcamp, and we're buying traffic not only for our franchisees, our location owners, but also for people who want to become future owners of a Fit Body Bootcamp location. So we don't advertise in Inc. magazine, Entrepreneur magazine, Forbes magazine. We actually look for our ideal leads on social media and then offer them information on owning the franchise in exchange for their contact info. And then once we have their contact info, we build a know, like, and trust factor by giving them more videos and content for them to consume and get indoctrinated. And then that leads them to an application, which is called an EOI, an expression of interest form. That leads them to a call with one of our sales reps who either qualifies them as a prospective franchisee or not. But what I'm drawing there for you guys is my funnel, right? And so what every entrepreneur needs to know is, okay, so I can buy traffic, buy leads from social media, great. And the more money you have, the more you can scale your buying power, right? So once you figure out, gee, I'm spending $20 a day and making $30 a day back, now you can scale, spend $60 a day and make $70 back, right? And so you can scale. I didn't start spending $250,000 a month. We were spending probably $3,000 to $4,000 a month. But as we kept hitting home runs, we kept scaling, and today we're one of the fastest growing franchises.
There you go. Bedros, where can people get in touch with you and find you?
Best place to find me is on social media. Actually, I'm very active on social media, on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Just look for Bedros Keuilian.
There you go. This is the GOAT, fellas. Take it easy.